Hey everyone, Coffee with Jesus is finally here. It has been a long time coming, so I'm just really thankful that God has made this possible. It really wasn't easy, Maybe I'll gist you later on in a future episode about what it took me to actually start this podcast. But just know that God is good. So, it is with the joy of the Lord that I welcome you to the very first episode of Coffee with Jesus. I am your host, Jayne Eddy, and I just want to put it out here that by starting this podcast, I am not claiming that I know everything regarding the faith, right? I do not know everything. Regarding the Christian faith, I'm not claiming that I know everything regarding the Christian faith. I am still learning. I do not know everything. I'm still very young. Today. I'm turning 18 today. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I'm still really young. God is still doing things in me. He's still teaching me lessons. I am not perfect. I have my struggles, but God is helping me and He wants to help you too. Also, please know that I do not have all the fancy podcast equipment yet. Actually, I don't even know when I'm going to get them. So it's really just me and my phone for now. And I'll be open about this. Even the flyers, the Coffee with Jesus flyers, I'm the one who makes them, the one who handles our Instagram and everything regarding Coffee with Jesus that you see online. And I don't even think there's any form of professionalism whatsoever, but God asked me to do this. He asked me to go on. So here I am in my obedience to Him. And I trust that He will soon send ready hearts and skillful minds to be a part of the Coffee with Jesus team so that my work can reduce. But for now, it's really just me and my master, Jesus. I really want to say thank you. Thank you so much to everyone who has supported Coffee with Jesus up until this point, either by reposting our e-flyers or by sending in prayers. Please know that we are grateful. Thank you for tuning in and for believing that this podcast has something to offer. Thank you for believing that this podcast has something to bring to the table. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. So, what exactly is Coffee with Jesus? The Coffee with Jesus podcast is for any and everyone, really. However, it is also specifically for new believers. I like to refer to new believers as baby believers, meaning that they're still, they're freshly born again. They're freshly born again, and they are finding it really hard to navigate life, because things are now different from what they're used to, right? So Coffee with Jesus is for such people. It is for new believers. It is for new converts. It is for people who are still new in their walk with Jesus because they're still trying to leave the things of the world and become stable in Christ. And, giving our lives and surrendering everything to Jesus is a very beautiful thing, yes. But there's so much work to be done after that. Being a new creature in Christ means that there is an old you that needs to be put behind. That means that the things you did in the past no longer matter. So from the point where you surrender everything to Jesus, you have to let go of your old habits. And we know that it is not the easiest thing. That is why we exist. The aim of Coffee with Jesus is to be a source of empowerment and encouragement to such people. Coffee with Jesus exists to help these people know more about what walking with God really is about. We are here to teach young believers, things that they need to know as they journey with Jesus. So, please share this podcast with your friends. If you know that they're struggling in their relationship with Jesus, if you know that this would help anyone, just share it with them. Share it. And if you're listening to this and your relationship with Jesus is not how you wish it would be, it's a bit rocky, things aren't going well, please know that it is because He loves you. That is why you have come across this podcast. I need you to know that you are not alone. God says in Isaiah chapter 41 verse 10, He says, "Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." Beloved, you should understand that we're on a journey here, and God understands that things will not always be easy, especially at the beginning. So if you find yourself doing things that are contrary to God's will, please don't beat yourself up too much and think that the Father doesn't love you anymore. Don't beat yourself up and think that God doesn't love you anymore, because towards the end of Romans chapter 8, we see that nothing can separate us from the love of Christ. That verse said nothing, absolutely nothing can separate us from the love of Christ. So we're here to remind you about this love of Christ. We're here to bring you closer to the reality of living in Christ. Right? We want you to understand that God can't lose interest in you. He has not lost interest in you, even if you haven't been doing things the way you ought to have been doing things. So if you want to learn more about the love of Christ, you want to learn more about what God requires from you, then please tune in next week Sunday for the next episode of Coffee with Jesus. We love you and we are rooting for you. I am your host, Jayne Eddy. Until next time, bye.